Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dion's Daily Dose for January 7th, Friday, 2021. Yes, it is 2021. And could this year have started off any crazier? So I don't know if you've seen this out there. We were told by I'm talking conservatives that have complained about the censorship on Facebook and Twitter, about constantly having our posts either shadow banned, outright deleted, warnings put on it, things like that. We were told repeatedly, oh, if you don't like it, you sign the terms of service. If you don't like it, find somewhere else. Go to a different platform. Maybe this isn't the place for you. We've had the discussion. I've put it out there. Many more people, far more knowledgeable in the law than I am, have put it out there that there's a difference between a platform and a publisher. And unfortunately, currently big tech enjoys the protections of both. That's the issue. If they want to censor what is on their platform, they have that right. They do. But then they are no longer a platform. Then they are a publisher. There's a difference. There's articles written about it. I recommend for those of you that are confused about this that you go and read them. However, we have a new development in the war that is censorship versus big tech. I don't know if you've seen this, but Parler, if you're not on Parler, maybe you've heard of it. Dan Bongino has apparently become the champion of Parler, and I made a Parler account. I have not kept it up to date. I need to do that. But it may not matter, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because check this out. Apparently, Apple demands that Parler start instituting their own brand of censorship, or they will be removed from the App Store. Yes, indeed. Hold on, let me get this up here for you. Apple tells Parler it has 24 hours to clean house or be removed. Apple threatening to ban Parler from App Store. Apple gives right-wing social media network Parler a 24-hour ultimatum. You can look into it yourself, but essentially what it comes down to is that Apple has told them, we demand that you censor yourself, and you have 24 hours to do it, or we're going to pull you from our store. Does anyone here for a moment believe that Apple cares about your free speech at all? No. Let's see. Cosmo Medici, I like the name, by the way, says, how to stop Facebook censorship without quitting Facebook. Ad sales are the primary source of Facebook's revenue. If you don't click on the ads and don't purchase from the companies advertising there, Facebook's revenue will be impacted. Post this on your page or pass this on through Messenger. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, look, unfortunately, I've been down the rabbit hole on many alternative social media apps and platforms. I have used Gab. I have used Minds, which I do want to put it out there. Minds is not a bad platform. It was a good idea. There's something small missing from it. Some kind of panache or something that would make it much more amazing. It has an app. It's good. I don't know if it's the lack of notifications, something. But Facebook is the king of social media as far as friends, right? Facebook and Twitter, they're the two giants, and there's a reason that they're the giants. Ease of use, packed with features. Twitter was a really, really good idea. I don't like what it's turned into. It's turned into a left-wing cesspool. And you guys will have to forgive me. My hair, I have got to get a haircut. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I haven't prioritized it. But the good news is Donovan also needs a haircut. So I'm going to schedule his, and maybe I'll make it in there with him to get mine done. I know it looks atrocious, so you just have to forgive me. So yeah, Dave said he tried to get on the app earlier and it would not connect. Here we go. He's talking about Parler. I anticipate some big things coming for social media. I don't look. Here's the bottom line. Facebook and Twitter, especially Twitter, have taken it upon themselves to determine what is truth. The Ministry of Truth. You can't make this stuff up. They have decided that because someone doesn't want to accept election results, that if someone, now here's my question, right? Where were the censors when the Russia collusion narrative was being pushed? Now, if you remember, no evidence was ever given for the Russia collusion. As a matter of fact, it was provably wrong. These nighttime TV hosts, these even congressmen that came out and swore to the American people that they had seen direct evidence of this so-called collusion. None of them were ever censored. None of them were ever banned off of social media. None of them were silenced. There were no warnings attached to it. None of this. But if you have the audacity to say, I don't really trust what happened. Look at all the people that are saying they had issues. Look at all the videos that are coming out. If you have the audacity to say that, you must be silenced. That's not America, ladies and gentlemen. That's not free speech. That's not the country that I love. There is a lot going on that is far more dangerous than people would like to believe. If we allow companies such as Google, Facebook, Twitter, all these big, massive tech companies to determine what you can and cannot say, where does it end? Where does it end? One of the greatest things about social media is the and ability to reach many more people than you can via straight texting, right? Phone calls and texting, even websites. That instant communication via social media is what makes it so popular. If that is curtailed, well, you can't talk about, let's pick something innocuous, right? Let's talk about steel, right? You are not allowed to talk about the steel companies at all. You're not allowed to talk about any of these big steel manufacturers that are here in Northwest Indiana. It may seem innocuous, right? It may seem like, well, I guess I could not talk about that. What if you work for one of these companies? What if you invest in these companies? It's so minor. It really is quite minor. But it adds up very quickly. And Dave nails it. First they came for the right, next they'll come for the left, if you're not left enough. And that's absolutely right, because you have a limited reach. We all do, right? I talk to a few hundred people. This person might reach a few thousand people. This other person might only reach 20 people. Everyone's reach is being greatly curtailed by these censorship changes. And if it doesn't matter, this is what people don't seem to understand. Just because you might agree with the things that these big tech are pushing right now doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. In fact, it's almost guaranteed that eventually they're going to pick something that you believe to censor. It's only a matter of time before it becomes religion, right? Or our Constitution itself. There's no good way that this ends. There's just not. So a little bit of an update on this board thing. I don't know that much about it still. I tried to do the research that I could online, but I was not able to find that much. It's like basically bus authority, regional bus authority. That's all I know right now. Hopefully, I'll have more information for you soon. Apparently, it's in conjunction with the RDA, the Regional Development Authority, which is for the South Shore Double Track Project. Before anyone asks, no, there's nothing I can do to stop the Double Track Project. Unfortunately, I personally am not a fan. Those of you who have been with me for a while know that huge waste of taxpayer money, and it's going to make people rich. And none of it are us. It's certainly not going to help us in any way, shape, or form. Allegedly, it's going to be a 2-minute savings. 2 minutes for over $1 billion. 2 minutes, $1 billion. Let's just say I believe someone's math was significantly off. Let's see, what else do I need to cover? Oh, so here's the other thing. There is a growing movement right now to put people on lists for enabling Donald Trump. Basically, this right here is enough to get me put on a list of the left where they want to shut you down, censor you, blacklist you, possibly even harm you. It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. And I'm going to tell you, I had intended after this to take down my sign and change the background a little bit, mix it up. He's not going anywhere. Now he's staying. Why? Because I will not be told what to do. Not in the United States of America. I am a grown adult, and I will not be dictated what I can and cannot do. If you want to blacklist me or come after me because I voted for Donald Trump, come on with it. That's all I'm going to say. Come on with it. I have the Second Amendment in my back window for a reason. We're just going to leave it at that. I will not be told what I can and can't say, what I can and can't do. If for some reason YouTube or Facebook or whatever decides to block me or deplatform me or whatever, I will find alternatives. I have my own website. I will revamp it if necessary to make sure that I can talk to you, whatever, because this is ridiculous. Who are you to decide? Why? Because someone who disagrees with your vision of the future? That used to be a good way to start a conversation. That used to be a good way to sit down and talk about the differences that we have and how we can work towards a more unified country. Because let's face it, some of these ideas, look, no one wants horrible conditions for workers, right? There's a reason that we have a minimum wage. There is a reason, and I know there are some people that believe we should do away with that and return to pure open trade and all of that. There have to be rules and regulations. Look at the 1800s, 1700s, child labor, people dying from labor camps and lung disease and all this stuff. We've come a long way. I'm with you, Dave. Dave says, I'm old, tired, and too dang mad to stay quiet. You are absolutely right. I am not going to stay quiet. And AOC wants us to go to the camps, right? She wants camps, re-education camps. Is anyone else getting a World War II vibe here? Have we learned nothing? Have we learned nothing? Steezy's asked if the president got suspended. I know that Linwood got permanently deleted off of Twitter, account canceled. Sidney Powell also permanently account removed. I know the president was suspended for 24 hours, I believe, 12 hours. Let's see here. Here, I'll bring it up and let's make sure I got the accurate information here. Yeah, hold on. Oh, Twitter permanently suspended Trump's account. Are you kidding me right now? I didn't see this. This was 22 minutes ago, apparently 13 minutes ago. Let me share this with you. Holy crap. Bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of what happens on January 20th, this man is still the president of the United States. Twitter bans President Trump permanently. Twitter bans Trump's account, citing risk of further violence. Are you freaking kidding me right now? You know, holy cow. Holy cow. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. Look, look at this. Kamala Harris says Trump's Twitter account should be suspended. Look at that. I know that was quite a while ago, but unreal. Absolutely unreal. They are taking it upon themselves to determine what you were allowed to see, what you are allowed to post, and who is allowed to post. It's absolutely mind-numbing. It really is. Oh my goodness. Look, I disagreed with the 12-hour ban, right? Because of what happened in the Capitol. And again, I'm going to say this again. I have looked at the pictures. I have reviewed the video. I am no investigative journalist. But if you truly believe that all of those people were Donald Trump supporters, then you really should re-examine the evidence. They have pictures of this guy from BLM rallies, from Antifa rallies. The one guy had a freaking hammer and sickle tattooed on his hand. Yeah, those are Trump supporters, really. But whatever. Trump came out and said, we condemn violence. Go home. But that got him banned. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because they don't want you to know what's really going on. The news does not want you to know what is really happening. They want to be the sole arbiter of truth. There are many, many things. Yeah. And Steezy says it too. He could have been banned for worse things. Why this? This was not a bannable offense. Not by any stretch of the imagination. He didn't even say anything. There could have been maybe some things in the past that he's put out on Twitter or that he's done that I would expect far more of a reaction than this. It's very simple. They don't want you to know what's really going on. And it's their MO. It's the MO for all of these big tech, far left, woke organizations that demand to be the final arbiter of the information that you have. They are going to tell you what you can and can't. And that's the other thing, Dave. I'm glad you brought that up. If you believe that people can get that far into the Capitol without more resistance, I've got a bridge to sell you. So, interestingly enough, I saw the video of when they broke through the barriers, right? Yeah, I had to do the air quotes. I know some of you have a real problem with that, but you'll be all right. Broke through the barriers. They didn't break through. The barriers were moved. You can tell that an order was received for the DC police. They got an order, and they opened the barricades. There were snipers all around there. There were a sufficient number. We're talking about one of the most secure buildings in the world, the United States Capitol building. And a relatively small group of people were able to penetrate all the way into the Capitol building. Something is off. I'm telling you, something's off. And even if all of these people were for whatever reason, were on Trump's side, were Trump voters, pro-Trump, MAGA, whatever you want to call them, if all of these people wanted to trying to think of how to rephrase this so I don't get banned. Okay, let's assume for a moment that these are pro-Trump people. I still disagree with the method. I talked about this the other night. I don't care whether they were Antifa, BLM, MAGA, or just a conglomeration of angry patriots. That's not the way. That's not the way. Violence is never the answer. There are people there who are not doing anything other than doing their best. I'm talking aides, I'm talking assistants. These people are not the ones that are in there voting against your interests, right? I understand being angry and frustrated. I absolutely understand that. But I don't think this is the way to go about it. I think that we have to look at what the law allows. And unfortunately, we are not going to get very far without the support of the military. If you're looking, not that I advocate for it because I don't, but if you are looking to take over the country, replace the government with one that answers directly to the people, or whatever your goal is, it's not going to happen. Not with a screaming mob storming the Capitol. That's not how it's going to happen. I'm telling you. All that aside, I hope that at some point in the near future, the truth about all of these things does start making its way to the surface. Twitter, of course, won't allow it. Facebook won't allow it. And yeah, Dave says the Capitol Police are some of the most heavily armed forces on earth. There absolutely was inside help. They opened the doors for them. Once again, do you remember the Antifa demonstration that led to the Chop Chaz Zone thing? One of the council members, city council, opened the doors for them to get into the government building. This just smells like that. It really does. And this I agree with. Rebecca says it isn't the time to rise, but there will be a time that good men will have to rise up and do bad things. Our very existence in this country will depend on it. That I do agree with. And I'm going to tell you, if they start rounding people up to send them to camps, I am going to stand up against that. Period. End of story. It is not going to happen in my neighborhood. I don't care if they're trying to take me, the guy down the street, the old lady that smells like cats, that throws things at my son when he walks in front of her house. I don't care. All of these people, I will stand up and make sure that that doesn't happen. There's not really a lady on my street like that, just saying that. There is a guy with dogs, though. He's got this short fence, and the dogs jump over the dang fence, and he had to run. Yeah, that was not. I think I'm going to have a talk with that homeowner, but and yeah, people are too young to remember 54. Sorry. Yeah, and I want to tell you, this book, 1984, is what I'm referring to. If you have not read it, you should absolutely read it, because there are so many things that are happening right now. Sure, some of it is a little over the top, but there is definitely something that is going on. The Ministry of Truth, Wrong Think, New Speak. Look at it. Amen and a woman. Are you kidding me? That is one of the most ridiculous things I have ever heard. Who do you think was the last great president? Jack, Kennedy, Reagan? Who? The last great president before Donald Trump, I would say probably Reagan. He wasn't perfect, of course, but I think that he did want the best for people. The Puerto Rican event at the Capitol. Hold on, let me see. Puerto Rican, 1954. Let's take a look. Puerto Rico Congress shooting, 1954. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Here, let's share this with you. I actually forgot about this. I had heard about it, but I forgot. Here. Boom. Yeah. Is this the one? 1954 United States Capitol shooting. Let's see here. 1954 United States Capitol shooting was a terrorist attack on March 4th, 1954 by 4 Puerto Rican nationalists. They shot 30 rounds from semi-automatic pistols from the ladies' gallery, a balcony for visitors of the House of Representatives chamber. They wanted to highlight their desire for Puerto Rican independence from U.S. rule. They were identified, they unfurled a Puerto Rican flag, began shooting at representatives in the 83rd Congress who were debating an immigration bill. 5 representatives were wounded, 1 seriously, but all recovered. The assailants were arrested, tried, and convicted in federal court, given long sentences, effectively life imprisonment. In 1978 and 79, their sentences were commuted by President Jimmy Carter. All 4 returned to Puerto Rico. Well, I don't know if I agree with that, but yeah. That's interesting. And you know what? Mark says JFK because he prevented nuclear war with USSR. And I agree. Yeah. And Dave, absolutely right. Things they don't teach anymore. I guarantee you my son knows nothing about this. I need to make sure to show him this. There have been many instances in American history where, whether you want to call them freedom fighters, terrorists, or just criminals, have attacked people, have done some things that they should not have. And oddly enough, we do seem to forget these events when we're talking about how do we proceed from here? What can we do? I'm going to tell you that I really hope that one way or another we can get some sort of reality. I would like to see some declassification of certain things. Number one, let's see. A lot of people want UFOs to be like the number one thing that's declassified. And I do believe that that needs to happen. Even members of Congress are now calling for declassification of that. Well, let's face it, the Navy, the Pentagon have both admitted that UFOs are a very real phenomenon. They have video, they have all kinds of things where they were shown, yeah, we don't know what that is, and they're doing things that we don't know how they're doing it. Advanced technology. We know it's not another country, but that's all we know. Initially, these things were classified because of the danger to national security. Well, given how long it's been, I am pretty certain that there's nothing we're going to learn for that. As a matter of fact, I have a post here. Let's see here. I can't bring it up on the screen, but former CIA Director Admiral Roscoe Hillenkoetter agrees to petition Congress to hold hearings about UFOs and how the UFO reality is being hidden from the public. New York Times reported on the stories. Quote, behind the scenes, high-ranking Air Force officers are soberly concerned about UFOs, but through official secrecy and ridicule, many citizens are led to believe the unknown flying objects are nonsense. Vice Admiral Roscoe Hillenkoetter, former director of the CIA. What I know is that behind closed doors, representatives claim that UFO secrecy is based on obtaining a technological advantage for dominance in warfare. Well, guess what? Nothing of operational significance has been gleaned over the decades, so time's up. It's time to tell the truth to the public you're meant to represent. It's time to stop hiding behind the false veil of classification and national security. Congress is asking now, officially, and if anybody lies or omits the truth, they should be held legally responsible. I agree with that. Let's see here. And Dave says, just like the White House, federal buildings have blast-proof windows. Trump made an order. It makes the U.S. government disclose its knowledge within 180 days of his order. So that's what I was going to say, right? We have several things, obviously, that would be really nice if they were disclosed, if the was just fully declassified. Here you go. Yes, UFOs is one of them. But you know what I would also like to know? I would like all of it to be released. The JFK assassination and 9/11. I would like all of that information. Now, let me give you a quick little thing before I go. Apparently, there was a massive WikiLeaks dump recently. I have not had a chance to go through it, but I will share with you the link so that you may do it. Take a look if it comes up. There it is. Supposedly, this is what the post says. WikiLeaks just dumped all of their files online. Everything from Hillary Clinton's emails, McCain's being guilty, Vegas shooting done by an FBI sniper, Steve Jobs' HIV letter, Pedro Podesta, Afghanistan, Syria, Iran, Bilderberg, CIA agents arrested for grape with no G, WHO pandemic. Happy digging. Here you go. All right. So there is, let's see here. Let's see if this is it. Yep. Okay. So here is the entire thing. There are multiple, just so you know. The date, for some reason on this, is listed as 1st January 1984, 101. I don't know why that is. I assume that's not the actual date. I think they're just, yeah. So Mark asks, wasn't JFK info released but redacted? Yes. For some reason, I'm not able to get this link on Twitter. Imagine that. I'm not able to post this, but if you go to my Facebook for any of my accounts, Dion's Daily Dose, Dion for Indiana, or Dion for Congress, you will find this link. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, Dion for Indiana. Steezy's asked a good question for those of you that are not aware. I'm barely more left than I am right, but what is a rhino? I heard many Republicans say that. Okay, let's talk about rhinos. Rhino is RINO, Republican in name only. Let me give you a perfect example of a rhino. Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney says he's a Republican, but he has not been very Republican in his votes and his dealings. There are a number of them, especially there are plenty in Indiana. Let's just say that. Yeah, Liz Cheney. There are a bunch of rhinos out there. Bush, yeah. Dave says Bush, John McCain. There are countless. Paul Ryan, the former Speaker of the House. Remember him? Young, rising star in the Republican Party, right? Suddenly vanished. Now he's on the board for Fox News. That's all he's doing. Why do you think that is? Do your own research, look into it. But I will tell you that, oddly enough, he and Mike Pence had a very interesting email communication going on during the primary of 2016, where they were essentially working to get rid of Trump and work together. That was part of a WikiLeaks dump. But this particular dump, I will show you here. Yeah, right? Steezy said he was supposed to be the Republican poster boy. He was going to be so popular. Rebecca says, I was so disappointed by Ryan. I was pumped when he came on the scene. Yep. Yeah. And I'm not going to spoil it because I don't have any insider info or anything, but I do find it very, very interesting what was laid out. So here is this interesting dump by WikiLeaks. We got a whole lot of stuff here. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find some interesting. Here is an entire folder with the Clinton emails. Look at this. August, December, February. This is a whole lot. Let's look at this README. This directory contains raw data obtained and used by WikiLeaks to create searchable archive available at wikileaks.org/Clinton-emails/. Now all published in one place for ease of mirroring. Let's go back. You know what I want to find? I want to look at that. Where'd it go? I just saw it. There it is. What is this? Okay. Yeah. So basically, we have here the digital certificate that shows that Steve Jobs is okay with releasing the records from to, and there's a check mark. You know, I'm not sure this proves. Oh, actually, yeah, I guess it does. I don't know. There's a lot here. I'll be going through this and taking a look. I do. So Rebecca says, yeah, I did read that email exchange. Yeah, I did too. I saw where Pence and Ryan were. That's yet another reason why I never trusted Mike Pence. I'm just going to say that. I've not been a Mike Pence fan. Even when he was governor, I was not a huge fan. He is the poster child for privatized prisons. Him and his buddy Mitch Daniels. I've worked in a prison where the food service and medical care was privatized, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Let's go back to this and see if we can find anything interesting. Let's see here. Now, allegedly, there's some stuff coming out in Italy about the election. I don't know anything about that. What is this? A coup for the rich.pdf. Let's see, what is this? It's loading, whatever it is. Here, I'll share the screen with you. It's probably more entertaining than looking at me. Oh, Thailand's political crisis. Okay. Oh, look at this. You see this? This is an interesting symbol. We've seen this before. Workers' Democracy Publishing, 2007. A coup for the rich. Contents: the Thaksin crisis and the coup for the rich, inventing ancient Thai traditions, the People's Movement and the October People, Southern woes. Huh. This is interesting. Anyway, I gave you the link. Look into it if you want. You know what? That's true too. Dave says, in the old days, we used to have investigative journalists that would do a big story on this. There's so much going on. There really is. And yet another reason why I am so infuriated with big tech censoring what we can say, what we can do, how we can do it. You can't hear from him. He's bad. Or he or she. There used to be a time when we were allowed to say whatever we wanted, and people were allowed to make their own determinations about whether they wanted to believe it or not. It's a sad day when the state, via proxy, big tech, determines what you can and cannot hear. I'm going to say this. I'm going to dig through this WikiLeaks thing. I'm not convinced that it's new, the dating on it, but there's a lot here. I will say that. And here, I'm just going to screen share one more time so you can see the sheer amount here that we're looking at. It starts up here, right? And it goes for page after page after page. We're like halfway down. We're into I's. L, M, N, O. Look at that. Zimbabwe, Blackwater Employee Declaration, Blackwater War Crimes and Complaint, World Bank Government of Kenya. There is so much here. Oh, here's some Walmart stuff. Interesting. Walmart Benefit Strategy 2005. What is this? It's taking a minute to load. Supplemental Benefits Documentation. Board of Directors Retreat Fiscal Year 06 Walmart Stores, Inc. Reviewing and revising Walmart's benefits strategy. So this is 27 pages, so I'm not going to go through all of this, but let's see here. We evaluated Walmart's current benefits offering through three lenses: cost trends, associate satisfaction, and public reputation, and are now recommending revisions to our benefit strategy built around 9 limited risk initiatives and 5 bold steps. While we continue to refine our thinking, I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you the breadth of our considerations, to highlight the direction we are headed, and to solicit feedback that will guide our final recommendations. This memorandum summarizes our work and is divided into 3 sections. Section 1 provides a detailed analysis of the 3 most significant benefits-related challenges we face. Growth in benefits costs is unacceptable. Listen to this, guys. Seriously, I've been kind of goofing off, but listen. Growth in benefits costs is unacceptable. 15% per year. Now, I want you to remember, Walmart is not hurting for money. Walmart has plenty of money. They continue to make profit upon profit upon profit. Listen to this. And driven by fundamental and persistent root causes, ergo, aging workforce, increasing average tenure. Unabated benefits costs could consume an incremental 12% of our total profits in 2011, equal to $30 billion to $35 billion in market capitalization. Yeah. If you think, it's so much. Rebecca says, Dave, we used to get the news. No frills, no preconceived spun story, just the news for you to decide your own opinion. And that's why I try to show you the article itself, where I get it from. I'm not trying to be a reporter, but I do think it's important to show you the source of this stuff. And that's a good question, Mark. Who does have the time to go through? Too bad it isn't summarized. I agree. I'm hoping I can find something, because there's another Walmart one. There's a Walmart Save Money 2008. Here, this is 3 pages. Let's see here. Just taking a look real quick. And it's basically, they just are talking about how they revamped it and were able to make money, pretty much. I'll show you. Nothing, as far as I can tell, it just basically talks about the same thing. How do we save money? How do we take money away from our associates? We don't want to pay them. Let's see. Rebecca says it's a rabbit hole that will give so much information your brain won't be able to grasp it all. That's a good way to summarize it. I'm going to look through here. I highly doubt that I'll be able to go all the way through it. There's just so much here. What is this? What is this? I'm not sure what this is, but it says Vatican Bank 2008.pdf. How many pages? It's 20 pages. I'll show you. I'm not going to go all the way through it, but there it is. So it looks like a lawsuit. United States District Court, Northern District of California. Plaintiff is Emil Alperin et al. Plaintiffs. So there's more than one plaintiff, versus Vatican Bank, a.k.a. Institute of Religious Works, or Instituto per le Opere de Religion, IOR, et al., defendants. Let's see. My name is Settimio Carminani Caridi. I am a tenured researcher and member of the Faculty of Law at the Italian University of Rome. My business address, blah, blah, blah. As set forth below, this declaration is based upon my expert knowledge of civil law, legal systems, Italian law, canon law, ecclesiastical law, the constitutional law of the Holy See, and the particular laws of the state of Vatican City. I am trained and teach in the disciplines of canon law. We got that. Familiar with the international law premises. Italian is my legal language, native language. He's a licensed lawyer in good standing in Italy. So this is all about like what he did, his background. Okay. A member of this, a member of that. Okay. Based upon my expert knowledge of the legal systems applicable within the Holy See and upon the territory of the state of Vatican City, defendant IOR has asked me to give my expert opinion on principally the legal status of the IOR in the year 1999. Okay. What is this? Anyway, I mean, you can go through it if you want, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of this is. Here it is. Legal status of the IOR as of the year 1999. The creation of a new juridic persons on Vatican City state territory on March 1st, 1990. Pope John Paul II issued a chirograph and internal governing regulations giving the IOR its present form as a public juridic person. As demonstrated by the content of the chirograph and the statuto, the IOR was not created by operation of a general law and was not part of a general legislative scheme. Rather, it was created by and is subject to a special law specifically directed at the IOR's creation and organization and command to engage in activity of public benefit to the sovereign. The sovereign was the original source of funds to establish and finance the operation of the IOR. Blah, blah, blah. It's okay. The IOR is a creature of the sovereign. It is neither a citizen of the United States, nor it is created. I think it meant nor is it created under the laws of any third country. See Italian Supreme Court of Cassation acknowledging location of IOR on Vatican City state territory, its formation under the laws of the Holy See and the Vatican City state, and its immunity from the jurisdiction of Italian courts. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to go all the way through this, but again, it's there if you want it. There's so much there. Right. Yeah. Let's see here. Judge in UK rejected the US extraditing him, but still held in high security prison and denied bail. Interesting. Vatican Bank. Rebecca says conspiracy theories are saying it all leads to Rome. Not sure what that means, but yeah, there's so much going on with Rome and the Vatican. There's a lot there. Mark says, let us know in a few months when you find something really incriminating. Yeah, there's so much here. Dave says that's part of why the Pope removed the Secretariat office. Interesting. There's, like I said, so much here. It would be nice to know like what the purpose of this is. It would be really nice if some of these PDFs had like a README attached to where it said, this is one of the things that you can use this in conjunction with this or that. Here's some presidential visit security letters, U.S. pre-combat inspections, U.S. Navy. Oh my, there is a lot here. I mean, just U.S. takes up. We got a lot of UK stuff as well. Transcendental Meditation Domain of Atlanta. What is this? Oh, it's a zip. Okay. Transcendental Meditation Domain of Atlanta Directors Meeting Notes, 2005 to 2007. It's a zip file, so it's downloading it. Anyway, this is going to take a really, really long time, obviously, to go through. I'm sure many people have already started digging into this. I'm just showing you what's there. By all means, here, I'll pop it up on the screen again so you can see. I'll go through it a little slower. Maybe you see something you might be interested in. We've got Tibet protests. We've got Thailand block order, Thailand crown prince dog birthday. I'm not sure I want to see that. There's an MPEG and a zip. Okay, we're going to move on. Teletech spy manual, Terre Haute lockdown 2009.jpg. This is interesting. U.S. Department of Prisons, Federal Bureau of Prisons, Federal Correctional Complex, Terre Haute, Indiana. This memorandum serves as an update to the institution's present status as a result of the current lockdown. As the institution continues to move in the direction of normal operations, the following information serves as the latest update. We will continue with cell searches in units E1, E2, D1, and D2. The remaining units will be allowed to conduct in-unit activity. The lunch meals will be served in the cells. That's standard. Upon completion of the serving of the meal, in-unit activities will resume, and inmates will be allowed out of their cells. Inmates will return to their cells for the 4 p.m. count. That's actually kind of odd because normally if you're on lockdown, you're on complete lockdown. All inmates will remain in their cells for the remainder of the evening. Shakedowns will continue until all areas of the unit, cells, and property are completely searched. During the course of the shakedowns, it has been determined lockers and metal objects are being compromised to manufacture homemade weapons. If a compromised or damaged locker is discovered during the shakedown, staff will remove the locker to ensure no further damage is made and to eliminate the possibility of the metal being shaped into a hazardous material. Right? Okay. Procedures are being reviewed to replace the damaged and removed lockers with an appropriate material and design to prevent further damage to the lockers. Additionally, government property to include washers and dryers, beds, light fixtures, and shelving have been tampered with or destroyed. These items will either be removed or repaired if applicable. If it is determined an occupant of the cell is responsible for the damage, you may be subject to disciplinary action. Again, inmates may not be afforded to the opportunity to repair or replace the washers and dryers in the housing units and will have to utilize the institutional laundry. Televisions will continue to remain on during the lockdown. However, lieutenants will have the discretion to terminate television viewing for disruptive behavior or emergency situations. Once again, when it is determined inmates are attempting to circumvent cell search procedures by flushing items down the toilet prior to the search, television viewing privileges may be rescinded. The executive staff will continually evaluate the institution's operations and provide updates as deemed necessary during the lockdown. This is nothing like this is honestly kind of boring. It's one thing. It's a letter from I believe post-riot at, let's look for Benghazi. Okay, we're in the A's. That's interesting. BL. J, Bilderberg, Bernard. It was BH, right? No, it's BE. Is it BEN? GH? I don't see it. Am I missing something? See a bunch of Bilderberg stuff, but they're old. 57, 58, 62. 1980 is the most recent. Bill O'Reilly hack, 2008. Yeah, I don't see what was the BEN. I'm looking at Mark Riley's post here, and I don't see anything about Benghazi, which is very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Well, anyway. All right, we're getting we're getting deep into the rabbit hole. But what I am going to do, I think, is I'm going to try to go through some of it, and then tomorrow night when I'm on, we're going to pick the top 5 most interesting things I found. Because I don't know much about this board that I've been appointed to. I'll learn more about it soon, and what I know, I'll let you know. But until then, we can dig through WikiLeaks. Maybe we'll start with the Clinton emails and see if we can find anything interesting in there. Yeah, or you get bored to death. Exactly. I know there's stuff here. We just have to find it. maybe we'll look at the Clinton email. That's what we'll do. Tomorrow night, we'll start with the Clinton emails and see what we can get through on those, maybe find something interesting. And then we'll just, I'll take a shout out from you guys, review the list, see what you want to go through together, and we'll do that. So with that, I appreciate you joining me. I missed a question from Steezy here. It says, do you think Trump has corruption, or do you think he is the least corrupt president? That's a really good question. I will say this. Everybody has been like the left. Let's talk about the left. There has been an inordinate amount of yelling and crying about Trump corruption and getting rich off of the office. I will say this. If that was the goal, if Trump's goal was to get more rich off of being president, then he went about it all wrong. At the same time, I do have some issues with the amount of time that he spent golfing after complaining about Obama doing the same thing. That bothers me. I've said before, I don't think the man's perfect. There's also a very, very slippery slope when it comes to being president and owning businesses like hotels and stuff like that. He has to charge for the rooms. You cannot, and I actually can verify this because when I went run for Congress, there are certain laws that are on the books regarding campaigns. And we're going to get into this another time because it's going to get really, really deep and there's a whole lot. Yeah, don't get me wrong, Mark. It has cost him millions and millions, if not billions of dollars. He donated his paycheck. If he wanted to get richer off of being president, he went about it all the wrong way. And that I'm right there with you on that. Sometimes I do look at the tweets and I'm like, why? Why would he say that? Yeah. There's a lot to it. We're going to cover this another time as well. I'm going to tell you how people get rich off of running for office. It's not the office. I'm going to tell you that. Congress, for example, $174,000 a year. Yes, they want to get elected. Yeah, they want the power that goes with that. But it's the running. It's the running that generates the money. There is a certain individual that ran for Congress who hired their children to work for the campaign so that when Joe and Lisa down the block donate $25,000 to their campaign, they can turn around and pay their kids with it or buy them a car or have their basement redone for an office. All of these are things that can legally be done under our campaign laws. I'll get into it another time. We're real close to an hour. Thank you very much for joining me. And it's going to be an interesting ride. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. God bless Indiana. And God bless the United States of America, wounded as she is.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2021. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.